Yes, Apple, iPad. I love my new iPad. It's about 24 hours old. I've been waiting. I had an iPad 3. I got the iPad Air. Love it. Waited in line and actually was the first person in Syracuse, right at 8 in the morning, to get my first iPad in line, the new one. So anyways, I got it. Love it. Can't say enough good things about it. It's very thin, and very light. And quality of pictures double the resolution than it was before. And well, anyways, I love it, and I'm looking for some way to set it down on my table so I can listen to my music or, you know, run it in the background. But they don't have really a stand for it, and I went online and there was a lot of choices. A lot of them way over-engineered. I mean, beyond engineering. So I said there's got to be a simpler way specifically for this. And of course it's a brand new one, just released, so they don't really have a lot of product out for it. But what I do have is a shop. That's right. I got the lathe, I got the bandsaw, I got the table saw. I can make something, but I'm not going to over-engineer it. I'm going to make something very simple. Let me show you what I came up with. It's pretty slick. I think you'll like it. So the idea is, let me take a look here, is I want that iPad to stand upright. And it's very thin. Can't really stand it like this, so I either lay it flat or I get a case for it, which I'll get. But I'm thinking there's got to be a better way to do it. So what I came up with was I headed on down to the wood and went through all of my exotics and domestics and looked for all the different wood and came up with a block of black walnut. And the black walnut, cut it down to size and said, well, that's the first stage. Now, once I got it to about the size and I came up with about the width of what the iPad would be, so what I decided to do was get out the table saw. Where's the table saw, you ask? Well, let's roll it on out. Here, I got it on this little pivot like a door. And the outfeed table pulls up here. And I set it right here. And we plug her in. Well, we won't plug it in just yet because we need to adjust the blade, and of course, safety first. Safety first. Alright, so I went ahead and lifted up the blade to about a ½ an inch or so. The depth in which the iPad will be sitting in the block. The kerf of the blade, or the thickness of the blade, times 3 should be enough to get it. So let me make my cuts and show you what I'm doing here. And let's turn her on and angle it up and make my cuts. Alright, here we go. Moving it out each time a little bit more. Now, as you can see, the idea is that there's going to be a 20-degree angle cut, a groove cut in it. And what that will do is, once we set it down, is that's going to be able to hold that iPad Okay, so I got my block cut, I got the groove cut in it, and the first thing I want to do is it's nice, it's utilitarian, but we want to make it a little nicer. So I took out the routing table, set that, I plugged it in first, excuse my head, and I set a round over bit in there to kind of Now, That gives me obviously a softer edge, but I'm going to do all 4 sides, all 8 sides, all edges, and once I got it all rounded over, sanded down, then I stain it. And let's show you what I come up with here once all of that's done here. One last thing is, once that's cut and round over and everything's fine, if you put the iPad in there as you put it here, it works fine because the home button is here. But if you put it like this, you can't really get to that home button easily. So what I did is I got a Forstner bit, and I'm going to cut out a little bit of a half round circle here. And by doing that, what I ended up doing was putting it on the drill press here and drilling out a quarter, well, about a half of a round 3/4 inch hole. But anyways, here's the final item once it's been all sanded and taken care of here. As you can see, I've put a coat of lacquer on there and got the groove much thinner than the one on my demonstration. And as it sits here, you can either set it like this. There's my iPad here. Look. So anyways, the access is there to turn it on, and let's see if I can get a better look at it. As you can see, it's designed so that the weight of the iPad rests majority on here, so there's not a way of tipping over easily enough. And if you want it obviously horizontal, you do your thing like this, and works out perfect. So depending on what you're looking to do. But let me take a couple pictures of it, and I'll show you what it came out as. So now everything's done. You see that I've covered it with a layer of lacquer, just spray painted it, and got the divot in there for the home button at a horizontal state. It's pretty straightforward. And then of course, even vertically, you have a space to push the home button in, or to play your music, or to whatever you like to do on your old iPad. Slots, yes, much fun. But anyways, that's it. That's my simplified block with a 20-degree groove and a spot for my home button to be pressed. That's it. Simple as it gets.